Guys, Robot1 here, coming at you with my updated Pendulum Magician deck profile. Now, I've been working on Magicians for a couple of weeks now since we've got the new ban list, and working out builds that I feel like work really well, have great balance, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on some different things, like maybe putting hand traps into the deck, maybe playing some different ratios on engines, maybe playing more engines, but I feel like this build that I've got right here is probably the best build that you could possibly be playing right now. It's got a lot of synergy with itself. It works really well in tangent with the rest of the cards in the deck, and I feel like it is the most consistent going first, and just in general having a lot of plays to go from. And it can still play around quite a few hand traps. So it's just a build that I've come up with. It obviously could change depending on ratios that I choose, such as maybe putting in hand traps, trying different ratios on the engines, but this is just the build that I've got for now, and I feel like it is the best possible build you could be playing. So without further ado, let's get into the video so I can show you guys what the list is. So we'll start off, we play the 3 Harmonizing Magician, 2 Purple Poison, and 1 Black Fang. This is the perfect Pendulum Magician engine ratio right now, in my opinion. You need to be playing 3 Harmonizing Magician because it tutors out the Purple Poison or the Black Fang, to basically have access to all Link 2s in the game, all rank 4s, and all of your synchro cards. But you also want to be playing this ratio because 1 Purple Poison is not enough in the deck, in my personal opinion, because you actually kind of want to use this for its effect, and also to tutor it out with the Harmonizing Magician, and 1 Black Fang, because Black Fang is actually, it's the weakest one out of the 3, be honest, because you're not always going to have that Spellcaster in the graveyard, but just having the ability to revive a Dark Spellcaster in general is actually really powerful. And so I feel like just 3 Harmonizing Magician just give you access to your whole extra deck, 2 Purple Poison, because it just gives you access to the Harmonizing Magician, and also gives you the ability to just pop cards, because honestly, if you could not pop cards with this card would not be as good as it actually is, but because it does have that access, it is actually a very powerful card. And 1 Black Fang, just because it's the weaker one, but it does have its uses in the long run. That's the Magician ratio. Like, honestly, the Magicians I wouldn't change, really, because, like, I feel like 2 Purple Poison is just enough, 1 Black Fang is more than enough, and you've got to be playing 3 Harmonizing Magician just to be able to tutor out into your entire extra deck. So, that's the Magicians. For other engines, though, we do play triple Darkworm and 1 Zero Gate. We obviously play this engine because Guard Dragons exist, and also it's just a very consistent engine. You want to be playing 3 of this, and only 1 Supreme Gate Zero, though, because we are not playing Absolute Dragon, so you're only going to be using this to essentially get a free pop with Electromite to add whatever you want. Plus, it's just a nice to have a searchable low scale in the deck as well at times. For another engine, we play triple Chronograph and 1 Time Gazer. At times, you can summon your Time Gazing Magician off Harmonizing Magician, but majority of the time, you're going to be summoning it off the Chronograph Sorcerer just to be able to tutor out into Electromite a lot quicker. And obviously, Pendulums right now, they are very strongly suited to going into Electromite. For the Endymion package, we do play triple Servant, 1 Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic, and 1 Mythical Beast, Jackal King. The reason for this ratio is basically, you want to be playing 3 of this because you want to see this turn 1 as soon as you possibly can, just so you're able to get as many counters on it as possible and end with that additional card. Additional negate, but honestly, you only need a 1-1 ratio of the monsters you want to summon of this card. You only need 1 Endymion Mighty Master of Magic, because 9 times out of 10 is actually a brick, because it doesn't actually do anything if you don't have spell counters on the board. And you only need 1 Mythical Beast Jackal King, because if you don't open this and you just want to put this in your extra deck, you can just activate a spell, put the 2 counters on this, and just have the extra negate anyway. So when I was thinking about the ratio, I felt like 3-1-1 was a lot better than 3-2, 2 Jackal King and 3 Master Cerberus, seeing as the Master Cerberus, if it gets ashed, it's actually kind of deep because you can't actually play much very after that. So I just felt like this was a very good ratio to play with the Magicians and other cards in the deck. So yeah, that's the Endymion package. I have no issues with this package whatsoever. I've been testing it and it's been working out really nice. Other engines though, triple Curtain Raiser. It's just another way to 2-hour Electromite really quick, plus it is a level 4, which actually comes up quite a bit. One Luster Pendulum and one Master Pendulum. Really, you only want to play these just because if you play Ignister, like this gets summoned off Ignister or this gets summoned off Ignister. But it's also really nice because it has synergy with cards like Pendulum, Duelist Alliance, just to be able to search the 2 cards. And also they're dragons, so they sync with the Guard Dragon engine. One Aether, the Evil Empowering Dragon. I'm not playing Goliath or the other end of the other Amorphage, because I feel like this card is just actually a lot better than the 2, because obviously those 2 cards are very good, being able to just summon out, stop your opponent from being able to summon from the extra deck, but in my testing, I found that the cards can just be run over very easily, and when they do run over the Amorphage Goliath or the other one, then they just don't do anything. But I found that having this is actually a lot more productive, because when this is summoned, it just banishes a monster on my opponent's board. So I could be banishing an important card like a Final Dragon Colossus, a Sky Striker link monster like Kagari, or anything really. Like even my opponent's Electromite, I could just banish because of this card. And I found that actually a lot more powerful than just being able to prevent my opponent from accessing the extra deck at times. So I prefer this card over the Morphage Goliaths, and also you can just pendulum some of this out every time and just banish a monster. So it has its uses in that area as well. And the last monster, one Destrudo. I'm playing one Destrudo because obviously it's just a free monster off the Guard Dragon package. Just being able to summon it out, have access to the FA Dawn Dragster for half your life is actually really good, and I haven't actually regretted it yet, because it's just free utility, and also I actually kind of use this sometimes to make the new secret rare card in Rising Rampage, which we'll get to in a minute. But those are all the monsters. The monster lineup is obviously very orientated to summoning Darklaw and like ending on majority of boards, but I've just found that this ratio of cards is just honestly the best ratio in my personal opinion, and it is kind of focused around the Guard Dragons as well, but the Guard Dragons are just a very powerful engine in general, so you should really be playing those. But on to spells, we play triple Pot of Desires. Honestly, banish 10, draw 2, it really does help at times when you go first, when you have that hand that can't really play. So this is just an additional utility card to just get into your cards. Triple Spell Power Mastery. You want to get to your Servant of Endymion as soon as possible, so this card just gets you there. Plus, if you already opened the Servant, this is an instant 2 counters anyway, so it just really is nice there. Double Pendulum Call, because obviously our Magician package isn't super big, so 2 Pendulum Call is more than enough in this build. And most of the time as well, you're going to be searching out a Harmonizing and a Black Fang anyway, so yeah, it's not really that great. 2 Duelist Alliance. We're playing 4 targets with the Pendulum Calls and the Draco Power, the Lusters and the Draco Pendulums. So 2 of this is actually a perfect ratio in my personal opinion. 2 Dragon Shrine and 1 Foolish Burial for the Dark Worm package, and 1 Upstart Goblin, just because it's an extra spell to put counters on our Endymion Servant. That's the spell lineup as well. Obviously, there are quite a few spell cards in the deck. We mainly want to be playing quite a bit of spells, just because we want to be able to resource our counters onto the Servant of Endymion as soon as possible, just so we can get as many cards out of the deck as possible with it. But for extra deck, we do play 1 LP. You only need 1, you're never going to summon more than 1, so you don't really need it. 1 Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. This is one of your disruption cards. You don't always end on it, but you do need it for the actual whole Guard Dragon combo to go through. So 1 Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres is required. 1 Amorphage Agopane to be able to just summon out any dragon from our extra deck. 1 Cyframe Lambda. Now, obviously, it's just a generic Link 2 Synchro, a Link 2 monster, but this also gives us access really good side deck cards, such as Cyframe Gamma, where we can just end on this with a Gamma in hand and just completely ruin our opponents. So this is actually a very good card as well. One Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, Pendulums, it's broken in the deck, I'm not going to go into it. One Triple Burst for the Guard Dragon combo, you do need it. One Appaloosa, the Goddess, the Bow of the Goddess. Essentially this card makes the deck 10 times better, being that you just summon this at the end of your combo and you just have 6 negates on the board for pretty much nothing. And honestly guys, most of the time you need to Hieratic Seal on the board just so you can use it to go into the Appaloosa for 3 negates. So very, very good card. One Boral Sword just to be able to go into our opponent and OTK them. One Abyss Dweller for that blanket negate effect on the opponent's graveyard. One Daigusto Emerald, because in the combo with the Appaloosa, you can actually make the Daigusto Emerald recycle 3 monsters, such as your Electromite, and just go in. So you want to be playing one Daigusto Emerald for that. One Supreme King Dark Rebellion, it's just more OTK fodder, just to be able to kill our opponent as quick as possible. One FA Dawn Dragster for more negates. One Ignista Prominence, just to be able to kill our opponent a lot easier. One Borolo Savage Dragon, cause more negates. And one Odd Ellie's Vortex Dragon for more negates. Obviously, this deck is very tutored to be able to make a turn 1 board that can just prevent our opponent, but that's how the deck is kind of always run, and that's how I've kind of made this deck as well. And especially with cards like a Goddess Bone out now, the deck has actually gotten a lot better. But guys, this is my deck list of Pendulum Magicians in the latest format. In my personal opinion, this build is very solid. In testing, I haven't really had any problems with it when I went first, and I'm just really enjoying playing Magicians again, seeing as now that they're just such a powerful deck in the format, now that everything's kind of just been hit. I kind of can't wait to take this to a locals, see what I can do with it, see how far I can get with it, and also hopefully bring you guys some live duels to show you how I can play the deck and the combos to go in it. But guys, that's the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comment section below. Tell me if you're playing Pendulum Editions. Tell me if my deck profile is giving you any ideas, and I will see you guys in the next one. Robotbat1 signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do love this deck, guys, and I am the true Pendulum God. Later all.